Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. I am Joe Sarvati, affectionately known as Coach, and I am here for our PGA Weekly podcast to discuss Stage 2 of the FedEx Championship, and that is the BMW Championship, which is at Caves Valley Golf Club in beautiful Owings Mills, Maryland. And what a beautiful course it is. We're going to break down some things here as far as who to look to, what the course looks like, and how things set up here for the upcoming FedEx Championship. Quickly here, next couple of weeks, our man Andrew Hansen, who's normally on the PGA podcast with me, is taking a little vacation, getting ready for the NFL season. And he's coming off a fresh move himself. So getting some well-needed rejuvenation time and getting pumped up for football. And then speaking of the NFL, if you missed our announcement, we have partnered with Pro Football Focus for the upcoming NFL season. So it's going to be fantastic, taking everything to the next level. And we'd love to have you join us. Just go to dfscoachtalk.com. There are multiple different memberships that you have to choose from there. All right, let's dive into this PGA podcast. And again, we've got 70 players in this event, and they will be cut in half down to 35 for the Tour Championship next week, which will be the final leg of the FedEx Championship. So no playing around here. These guys are having to go after it to try to make it to East Lake next week. There is no cut in this event. That's the other thing. So I do feel comfortable saying we're going to get all of our guys through for the weekend, but that's not even a for sure thing because you never know if somebody withdraws or gets injured or whatever. So let's just say we would be very disappointed if we didn't have all of our guys through and get 4 good rounds out of everyone. So that's what we're expecting to do. And exciting course. I mean, Caves Valley Golf Club is beautiful. I took a look at online here of all 18 holes, just cut into the woods, a lot of water. There's some sand. Very, really takes all the shots. And that's why I think it's a fantastic choice for this level of the FedEx Championship run, because this will separate the men from the boys here, because it's going to take everything. You have to be consistent off the tee, both in direction. You need to be straight and in length. That really gives some big advantageous spots on the course. It's a par 71. But it's 7,226 yards. So it is, it's, fairly long for a par 71, that's for sure. And, it's not like it's grip it and rip it and spray the ball around. You definitely have lots of water, lots of trouble, trees, the whole 9 yards. So in statistically looking at it, I, put pretty much everything together because you need to putt well. The greens can be tough. You need to, be consistent. So total driving is extremely important. You're also going to have really a good scramble game. There's going to be holes where you have to get up and down for par. So it's going to take the full game, and I think is a great course, to cut this field from 70 to 35 for next week's Tour Championship. The other nice part about this 4-day event, Thursday through Sunday, the 26th through the 29th, is the weather is supposed to be great. It's supposed to be mostly sunny most of the days, partly cloudy, a little bit more on Saturday, but for the most part, it does not look like it's going to rain. The winds are going to stay below 8 miles an hour, so very light winds, which can be a problem on this course. So there looks like they're going to get lucky there. And the temperature is going to be in the mid 80s. I mean, perfect weather for some outstanding golf. I think you'll see some great shots. I don't think you're going to see super low scores, though, because the course is so tough. But should be a really good, true test of what they can get done. Couple of things I wanted to focus on here as we're looking to put some selections together is let's look at the last 3 years as far as top 5 performers, because you're going to see a bit of a trend here with some of these guys. So last year, Rahm was the winner, DJ was second, Matsuyama was third, Joaquin Niemann was fourth, and last week's winner, Tony Finau, who finally got it done on Sunday last week, was fifth. So all guys that really are in the hunt. On 2 years ago, you had Justin Thomas, Matsuyama, Cantlay, Finau, and Rahm. So again, the Rahm, Matsuyama, and Finau, 2 years in a row, 3 of the top 5 players. That doesn't happen that often. A year before that, it starts getting a little sketchier. Then that's when you had Bradley, Rose, Horschel, Schauffele, and McIlroy. So you can see quite a difference there. But the bottom line is, I think the 3 guys to talk about are the 3 that are on that board. I mean, they're all playing well. They're all dangerous, and they all, could make a run here. And of course, Rahm being hot, Finau coming off the win, and Matsuyama, who's had a fine year with a Masters win, etc. So those are the 3 guys, that I'm highlighting for the pay-up guys, and then determining where we go from there is a key. So what I want to do is let's look at the odds, and this is from our partner at BetUS.com.pa. By the way, if you're looking to start betting on these football games and you're looking for a good book to do it, BetUS is phenomenal. I've been with them 16 years, BetUS.com.pa. And if you sign up there, if it's a first-time deposit for $149, you get a free 2-month membership to DFS Coach Talk if you use the promo code Coach Talk, all one word, no space. You just go to BetUS.com.pa, sign up. First time deposit, put in $149, use that promo code Coach Talk, no space. And again, you'll get 2 free months. So perfect time to do it. If you're looking to be with Coach Talk for September and October for free, then take advantage of that BetUS deal. So the odds to win the BMW Championship, Jon Rahm, heavy favorite at 6.5 to 1. And then it jumps all the way to Xander Schauffele at 18, Colin Morikawa at 20, very dangerous, DeChambeau 21, JT 21, and again, JT won it here the year before last. Dustin Johnson at 22 to 1, again, a second last year here, and definitely has slid down. He had been the favorite, or at least second favorite to Rahm in a lot of these events. Now he's dipping down to that 7 spot. Jordan Spieth also 22, Brooks Koepka 23, Cameron Smith 25, Patrick Cantlay 25, Rory McIlroy 28, Tony Finau 28. Talk about a momentum guy. Louis Oosthuizen, who's had a fine year. Scotty Scheffler, and Victor Hovland are all 30 to 1. So listen to that list, man. You got the best of the best. And this is it. FedEx money time for these guys, and everybody has shown up. So all of those guys I listed initially here are phenomenal plays. You could make a case for most of them. The standouts for me in that top group, I don't know how you don't have Rahm in a lot of your builds. I know he's expensive, but man, is he playing the best golf. Morikawa can win on any given week. He can be the best by far, so strong consideration there. Jordan Spieth still, you get a decent enough price on him. He has been consistent, but can he put it together here? We'll see. Cameron Smith has been fantastic all year. I've gotten him a decent price in salary wise in a lot of these events, and he really does perform. McIlroy, of course, on any given week can be up there. Tony Finau is going to be very popular this week because his price is right and he fits. So all of those guys are in play. You know, I'm a big Scotty Scheffler guy, so he's certainly in play for me as well. And then as far as some of the other guys that I'm looking at, again, you know, what I did was just take a look at some overall numbers here, stats-wise. I didn't specify, like when we're playing the long courses, you know, or having tight courses with tough greens. You know, you can usually narrow it down to 2 or 3 statistical categories. But studying this course, looking at the past history, like I've said before, you've got to have all your aspects of your game together to do really well here. So in looking at the statistical leaders in a lot of these categories throughout the year and where they are as far as middle of the road in odds to win the event, which generally a lot of times will mean they're middle of the road with ownership in DFS. So here's some guys that I thought stuck out that could be dangerous. Joaquin Niemann is 50 to 1. Good price, dangerous, really coming into his own this year. He's still such a youngster and an outstanding player. Outstanding. Russell Henley, here's a guy that has had a quiet, really nice, consistent year. He's 75 to 1. Love the odds on him. Love the fact that his ownership should be fairly low, and he is dangerous. Kevin Kistner, he's another guy. He had that win before the Olympics, chose not to go. He's playing good golf and is dangerous without question, and you can get him at 90 to 1. So you got to love that. Couple other guys I don't know about as far as winning the event, but I like them to be, you know, top 20 guys that can finish in the top 20 and get you some good DFS points for long shots. A couple of those guys have been a guy I know Andrew's ridden a lot this year, and that's Kevin Streelman. He's been consistent. He's got a good game all the way around, and 100 to 1 is a nice look. Couple other guys, Mackenzie Hughes. I've had him on and off this year, and he has really stepped up. He does have his games, you know, his times when he doesn't get it done, but he has been consistent. More so than his odds would say, and he's 125 to 1. Here's a strange one now. You know, we got to make sure his health is good, so we'll double check on that. But Ryan Palmer, who's got a good record at this time of the year and on this course, is 140 to 1. So that at 140 to 1, that gets my attention and certainly deserves a look. Last two guys, Chris Kirk, who we've played throughout the year. He's had some really great finishes. He's been down a little bit more than he's been up. I like this course for him. And at a big fat 200 to 1, maybe a guy to fill out your roster in DFS to help you make the number. But certainly somebody worth discussing. The guy last week that started off so bad, made a big run for us that we played was Patton Cazire. He is 250 to 1, but again, similar to the Chris Kirks of the world, if you need a final guy, a cheaper guy that can round out your roster and make the salary work, he's another guy that you need to consider and probably deserves, you know, $20 to win at that kind of a number, or at least a top 10 finish where you can get some really good odds as well. So that is the main aspect of this week's tournament. Again, you know, it's wonderful that there's no cut, so we're going to get 4 rounds. There's not supposed to be any weather issues whatsoever, so we don't have to be concerned with morning or afternoon tee times. We don't have to be worried about making the cut. A lot of that is eliminated, so you really can dig in on all 3 sites, DraftKings, Fanduel, and Yahoo, and look for, you know, who do you see envision being in the top 20 in this tournament when it ends? Who are going to be the guys that push to make sure they get into the final 30? Because this gets cut down to 30 for next week for the Players Championship. So, you know, if you see somebody making a hard push or are really trying to get to next week, those are the guys you want to ride, because you know, you're going to have, there's a lot of money on the line, a lot of prestige with this tournament. You're going to have the big boys like the Roms and DJs and Matsuyamas and etc., that are trying to win the thing with everything else aside, then you're going to have a big group in that middle that is looking to finish well and move on to next week's final FedEx tournament. So definitely a fun week. I think it's going to be some great golf with some great weather. I'll be watching a bunch of it, and hopefully these picks and this information will help you put together some optimal lineups that will take down some big tournaments. And there are some outstanding tournaments this week and next week on DraftKings and FanDuel specifically, and some decent ones on Yahoo as well. So fantastic. I hope that this was a big help to all our PGA fans. We'd love to have you join us at dfscoachtalk.com. Check us out there. If you're watching this right now on YouTube, please take a second, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and in the upper corner, hit that little alarm bell, because that'll let you know when our podcast posts. And we're going to be posting constant podcast, MLB, PGA, NFL's right around the corner, and then back into NBA. So there'll be days where there are multiple podcasts posting at different times. If you hit that little alarm bell up in the corner there, then you'll get an alert when our podcast posts. So we'd love to have you do that. And if you're listening via any of our landing spots for podcasts, whether it be Podbean, Stitcher, iHeart, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc., take a second when you listen on any of those, hit the 5 stars and give us a quick comment. We have a drawing at the end of every month for 1 free full week access to DFS Coach Talk, and that's drawn 1 week from today. So you have 1 more week to qualify for that drawing by hitting 5 stars and making a quick comment there. And then we'll be announcing that next week on Wednesday. So appreciate that. Appreciate everybody listening in. Again, give us that thumbs up and subscribe. And we'll certainly be back for another podcast MLB-wise on Saturday. And then next week, we'll have an additional MLB pod and the PGA podcast for the Players Championship. And then, believe it or not, the following week, boom, NFL, full tilt NFL. So can't wait. Love to have you join us. Hello out there to all of our Coach Talk members, and hopefully the rest of you are soon to be Coach Talk members. So have a great week. Crush this golf, and certainly look forward to seeing on the next DFS Coach Talk podcast. So for the entire DFS Coach Talk team, again, I am Joe Sarvati, affectionately known as Coach. We'll catch you again next week when we look to crush it in DFS.